What's up, guys? We're The Walking Dead here to bring you another video. This one, I'm going to be doing a comic book review of The Walking Dead, specifically issue 147 Out in the Open. I'm going to give my thoughts. I'm going to give a little synopsis or summary of what happened, and we'll take it from there. I don't want to spoil this for you, so please, if you have not read it yet, don't watch the review, please. Please go out. If you're not caught up, go get caught up. And if you are caught up, you just haven't read the issue, come back later if you see this. And we could discuss it down in the comments below because I'd be really interested to see what you guys thought of this issue because I feel like it could really go either way. I feel like people either love this issue or hate this issue because nothing really happens in terms of action sequences and stuff like that. Now, for the record, if you hear page turning, that's obviously because I'm looking through the comics, talking about specific things I want to talk about, and interesting things I saw. Now, to start off, we really have Eugene really pressing the issue with this whole Lydia thing that he's got going on here because he really wants to. It seems like he wants to hurt Lydia or use her as bait because he really doesn't care what happens to her. I mean, or what happens to her? Excuse me. Can you blame him though? Because I can't really. I don't blame him, but the thing is, she is just a kid. I mean, come on. Now, obviously, he really presses the issue more than I thought he would. He really does want to use her as bait, and he obviously he says Rick says we wouldn't hurt her, and he says, you know, what if Rick says, what if she calls our bluff? And then Eugene says, well, then we don't bluff. That right there was a huge, or at least in my view, I saw it as a big turning point for Eugene because I think he was really serious about, he doesn't really care if she gets hurt. I mean, she's just a kid, so it's pretty messed up. So we have all the Eugene stuff. That stuff gets solved in the first couple pages. Eugene leaves. Um, Now, obviously, there's some talk between Rick and Andrea. Uh, Rick doesn't really know what to do. Now, the interesting part of this, there's kind of three different stories going on here that I saw. Well, actually, that were in here. There was the whole Eugene thing. There was the Rick and Michonne part that I'll talk about in a second, and then there was the Carl, Lydia, and Andrea that whole conversation on the way to the Hilltop, which is going to be really interesting to see in future issues because we have gotten the covers for all the issues up to 150. So I mean, this is going to be really crazy to see how this all turns out because I mean, I don't know, I'm really excited. But after Rick and Andrea talk, after Eugene leaves, Andrea goes to wake up Carl and get Lydia, and they're on their way to the Hilltop, obviously because Lydia is not safe where she is now because pretty much the whole townspeople probably want her killed. So, yeah. Now, this is the really cool part that I saw of the issue, or that I thought was really cool. Michonne actually sneaks in to the house that Rick is in, that she thinks Lydia is in also, and it looks like she wants to hurt her. It looks like she has intentions to hurt somebody. I mean, then obviously Rick sneaks up behind Michonne, points a gun at her. Nothing serious. They make a few jokes. And then this is where I think this was the highlight of the issue, to be honest. You have a conversation between Rick and Michonne that probably was the most personal conversation in The Walking Dead in a while. I think you have Michonne talking about how she deserves everything that's happened to her. Uh, about what happened with her kids. Shane is mentioned in this issue, which I really liked. Good to hear him again. Now, it was really shocking. Not shocking because I mean, of what everything that they went through. But Rick does admit that he feels closer to Andrea than he ever did with Lori, and I mean, I guess that, I mean, it's understandable when you think about it, but Yeah, I thought that was pretty. This whole dialogue scene, in my opinion, was really great, and it was the highlight of the issue. Now, there's some jokes made, a couple jokes, a couple laughs. Now, Michonne goes to leave. Rick tells her not to leave. Uh, yeah, no, he explains everything how he's close to Andrea. Basically, Rick spills everything out that he's been feeling, shows Michonne. They hug it out. Michonne starts crying. That's some pretty emotional stuff. Then, for the remainder of the issue, we go to Lydia, Carl, and Andrea on their way to the Hilltop. Uh, they meet Gus on horseback. Now, obviously, Lydia seems, she's suspicious of what's going on, or she thinks that they're acting all suspicious, and she starts, she's having questions now of, why did you have to lie where we were going, because uh, obviously they don't want to tell any of the Alexandria folks where they're headed off to, because Lydia obviously wouldn't be safe. Lydia starts questioning everybody, Carl and Andrea. Now this is where the issue really heats up for the most part. You have Lydia. Lydia says, "You told me your people took care of each other. You said they protected people." So obviously she starts questioning now, am I really safe here? And she thinks they're lying to her, and she thinks that they're taking her back to her mom. Obviously not the case, but that's what she thinks. And then she pulls out the gun and she points it at Andrea and says, "Tell me the truth right now." Wow. Okay. Like I said, this issue was I loved it a lot. I'm gonna give it, probably, if I had to say, an 8.5 or an 8.7 out of 10. It was a really strong issue in my opinion. Obviously, nothing really happens in terms of action sequences, but in terms of character progression, it was a huge issue. Uh, but yeah, I'll say I give it an 8.7 out of 10. Uh, wow. Okay. I thought it was a really good issue, obviously, but let me know what you guys think of the comments of it. I do want to say I will make a predictions video now of what I think is going to happen, because I do have some predictions after reading this issue, because this issue did open my eyes a little bit, because we did get the covers of issues 148, 149, and 150. So this issue right here, 147, out in the open, gave me a lot of insight as to what predictions I could make. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. Obviously, they throw curveballs in here. So, no one ever really knows besides Kirkman. But, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. I really did like the issue. Let me know what you guys think below. I'll be coming back at you with a predictions video. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.